This show is brought to you by justinformed.com, a social media website that does not steal your data, does not invade your privacy. It's for the real people, the true people, the fighters for justice, and people that want to be informed. So go to justinformed.com. Sign up. See you there. This show is also brought to you by Tim Black TV, TBTV Media. That's my thing. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and the web. Let's go. Hey, people. Hey, how y'all doing? What's going on, people? What's going on? So, look, guys, happy birthday to me. Hey, happy birthday to Tim Black. Yeah, it feels good to be another year older. It's a privilege to have a long life. So I'm very grateful for it, guys. But I still have to do a show tonight, regardless to what day it is, because the story must go on. And frankly, due to the setbacks that I've had recently, I just feel compelled like I got to do a show. So even though it's my birthday, let's rock the news, people. Big news of the day is this guy right here. Peter Strzok. Peter Strzok, Facebook. Peter Strzok, YouTube. Tim Black's Wolfpack. This guy, now you all know Peter Strzok. He is the FBI lead agent on a couple of investigations, and he made a lot of headlines, but not in a good way. Not a good way at all. And so just to recap so everybody knows where we are with Peter Strzok, right? He wasn't just an FBI agent. He was a lead agent on the Mueller Russian collusion investigation. He was also a lead agent on the Hillary Clinton email investigations. The lead. Now, I don't know if he was the only lead. I didn't hear them say co-lead. They said lead. So that means, that leaves me the impression that he was the guy out in front. Okay? So now, he's also the gentleman who was removed from the Hillary Clinton investigation due to some emails, some text messages that were found. And we're not just talking about some. We're talking about tens of thousands of text messages between him and his mistress, Lisa Page. Now, I'm not sure what all the messages said. All I know are the ones that were publicized that took, that the media focused on, or that was released, that became public knowledge to the rest of us, right? And those text messages, a few of them were they looked very bad. They looked as if Peter Strzok really, I call him Strzok. It's Peter Strzok. How many times have I said Strzok? It's just in my head. I worked with a guy named Strzok, and every time it's like, it's screwed up. Okay, his name is Strzok. Every time I turned around, all right, Peter Strzok, okay? He said some things in those text messages to Lisa Page that he never thought anyone else would ever see that really showed how he felt about Donald Trump. Now, hey, how you feel about Donald Trump, how I feel about Donald Trump don't really matter. How average people, regular people don't really matter. In fact, how 99% of America feels about him, personally, it doesn't matter unless you go vote. Doesn't matter unless you stop buying his products. Doesn't matter unless you don't watch him on TV or whatever, okay? But if you are the lead investigator on a Russian investigation that involves him, that might be an issue. And if you were a lead agent on the Hillary Clinton investigation who was challenging Donald Trump for the nomination, or I'm sorry, not the nomination, but for the presidency, well, yes, then that might be an issue. Now, I'm not saying it was an issue. I have no way to know if he did anything differently than he would have done if he was a friend, or if he was truly non-biased or totally impartial to who became president. But once people know that you were partial, now everything that you've done, it becomes tainted. Look, can people put aside their damn Democrat or Republican line-walking privileges for a moment and just admit reality? What would Democrats be saying if Obama had been investigated for something and it turns out the lead investigator in the investigation was a McCain supporter and thought Obama was destroying the country or would destroy the country or was horrible and should never be president and would do anything they could to stop him? Think about that. I mean, it's pretty simple. It's pretty basic. I tell you, folks, we have a system that just pits us against one another, and we are so infected with partisan, like your team, my team, red team, blue team, orange team, yellow team, like everything. We can't just think reasonably. I'm not saying that Strzok did anything dirty for Clinton to get her off on the email investigation. I don't know if he did or not. I'm telling you, appearances matter. So anyway, back to where we are today. So they fired the guy. Now, it wasn't recommended for Strzok to be fired originally. It was just recommended that he be suspended. But the deputy director of the FBI decided that he wanted to terminate Strzok. So that's it. He's gone. He has a job like anyone else. If you had a job that brought bad publicity onto your company or your organization, if you made your organization look bad in the public eye for any reason, they'd probably terminate you too. But of course, that's not how people are treating it. Of course not. If you worked at your job, if somehow they found your emails or they became public knowledge and they said that you hated the company or that you in any way would do things that would undermine the supposed spirit of the company and how you do business, they let you go too. But Strzok is lucky because Strzok has people who feel sorry for him. Now, they wouldn't feel sorry for you if you lost your job. They wouldn't feel sorry for you if you were a cheater and got caught up with the person you were cheating with, and then emails or text messages show that you may have been biased or did something wrong on your job. Nah, they wouldn't help you. They'd say, that's what you get. That's what you get. But like I said, Strzok is lucky. He has people who put politics in front of everything. So Strzok, he has a GoFundMe account up right now. GoFundMe account because he wants to raise money to fight his termination. He needs to have money for legal fees. He has to hire the best attorneys because he's probably going to sue the FBI now. His goal amount is $150,000. He's already raised $80,000, and he just put it up a couple of hours ago. So I'm expecting him to clear at least $500,000 because poor Strzok, the cheater who got caught and said things he shouldn't have said about, he shouldn't even, it's horrible. Look, we don't have privacy. And of course, he thought his text messages would be private, but it does sit, it's creepy. Come on, guys, it's creepy that you're an FBI agent and you're that biased. And look, and it just leads me to believe, and I put a video out to this, one of the reasons why I'm a little late, I am late with the show tonight, is because I had to finish my video. I had to get something out. I had to put my video work out. And as I said in the video, the appearance becomes reality. And it's important that we try to make appearances look, so that you don't get the public all worried. And the public's like, oh my God, what to believe, what to trust. And that's how you get your people. That's how you get you don't like conspiracy theorists, America. Well, when you have stories like this that come out about FBI agents with biases, what do you expect? Not to mention, all people have biases. So, guys, has it got your brain cooking on what other, agents may do or may not do based on their biases, if possible? Same thing applies to all law enforcement. All law enforcement are made up of people, and people have biases. And this is something we complain about and talk about all the time. But when we talk about it when it comes to police brutality or issues with arrest, even though we know blacks and whites use weed at the same amount, but black people are 4 times more likely to be arrested for weed, not for something else, for weed. And people go, so what? It's like obvious. There's a bias in how they police. But anyway, back to this. Peter Strzok, he was terminated today. Trump had a fun time laughing at it. But he then did something that I think is it's very manipulative, right? Trump said that they should reopen the Hillary Clinton investigation. They said that, he said that, now that Strzok is gone, that investigation was never done right because Strzok was a part of it, and now it needs to be redone. I'm betting 99% to 1%. Only 1% of me says it's even possible that they would try Hillary Clinton for the email servers again. All right? Trump saying that because he knows it's going to get a lot of retweets. And a lot of retweets is what it got. Because people love hearing it, even if it doesn't have the remotest chance of happening. It sounds good. It sounds good. There's so many other things that the Clinton Foundation could be brought up on. You don't need emails. You can go after some of the other things. So I just don't see it. I just don't see it coming to justice on no email scandal. I just don't see it happening. But that's what Trump tweeted out. They also tweeted out that it was good that Strzok was gone and that there was no collusion. And since he was the lead investigator on the collusion investigation, won't we just end the investigation and get on with life? That's what Trump said. Anyway. That's the Strzok story. Yeah, that's the Strzok story. Roseanne Martirana says you can't trust the CIA or the FBI. Let me select an event. Oh, I got to select an event. We got more chatters. Let's bring the YouTube people in the house. And I'm going to... There we go. There we go. Make these a little bit bigger. So, yeah. Oh, so I got a couple other stories too, guys, you might be interested in. Check this out. Keith Ellison. I woke up this morning to an email from a friend, and it said, "Did you hear what happened to Keith Ellison? Or did you hear what Keith Ellison may have done? Keith Ellison denies allegations he abused his ex-girlfriend." Keith Ellison is on the hot seat. Yes, he is. He's in the hot seat, guys. And they're saying that Keith Ellison, well, his ex-girlfriend is saying this. Oh, his ex-girlfriend is saying, let's bring the chat window back up. His ex-girlfriend is saying that Keith Ellison, back in 2014, 2015, 2016, I think they ended their relationship around 2016. And already I know too much about their personal relationship, don't I? I mean, I don't need to know that. Why do I need to know how long they were together? I got my own things to worry about. I got things to worry about. It's my birthday. Why do I care about how long Keith Ellison was in a relationship? Well, I care because this woman, her name is Karen Monahan, she wrote an article. It's in a local affiliate of Fox, where she talks about Keith Ellison and white supremacy and the patriarchy and women being abused and victim blaming and a lot of other stuff. And then she talks about Keith Ellison, I think, because she doesn't always say his name. And it's like I'm kind of trying to figure out what she's really saying. And it comes down to this. In at least one incident that she is referring to, allegedly Keith Ellison grabbed her by her leg while she was laying on the bed and attempted to pull her off the bed and then cursed at her. That's pretty much it. Now, there are other things in there she wrote about, such as Keith Ellison, he's a philanderer, like he sleeps around or something, but they weren't married, and she didn't even say they were engaged. So I don't really know what that's about. Maybe Keith Ellison decided, I don't know, based on what she wrote, he just seemed like a guy who didn't want to settle down, and maybe he was seeing other people. She said he was seeing other people. She'd come over to the house one day, the next day he had somebody else at the house. I don't really know what she's saying. All right? But all of this comes down to one thing. Bad timing. Or good timing, depending on what your outcome or what you want to happen in Minnesota. Because, Lord behold, Election Day in Minnesota is tomorrow. Yeah, it's funny how those things go together. Funny how these things just somehow they just happen to fall in line with each other. Story comes out on Friday. Her son doubles down. He makes a post on Saturday saying, Keith Ellison, you treated my mama wrong. I saw the video that you on my mama's laptop. Just so happened I was going through her laptop and I ran across these messages that you sent. I saw the messages you sent where you used bad language and you were mean to her. And then I saw a video of you pulling my mother's leg and all this stuff, right? And it's like, wow. And when Ms. Monahan was questioned about, so you say there's a video of Keith Ellison abusing you, physically abusing you, show us the tape. Where's that? She says, well, I had it on a thumb drive or a flash drive. I packed it away. I don't know where I put it at. It's somewhere. It's gone. And don't be asking me where it's at. Why should I have to relive the trauma of providing evidence that I said I had about an incident that I brought up? It just doesn't make that much sense to me, man. You up there saying you don't want to relive the experience. You are reliving the experience now. And another thing, look, guys. I don't know if Keith Ellison did anything or didn't do anything. I have no idea. None of us know. You don't know either. But here's the thing. We have to prosecute people when they do stuff. Now, if him pulling your leg, she didn't say he beat her up. She didn't say he pulled a gun or a knife or threw her through a window. She said he grabbed her by her ankles and tried to pull her off the bed and then he cursed to her. I'm not saying that's the right thing to do, but I'm just saying, before people come for me, and look at what she said he did. Now, I don't know if you call the police on that. Maybe you do. Maybe you break up with the guy. Maybe you tell him to go to hell. Maybe you say, stick your little House of Representatives job up your ass, and I'm going on with my life. I don't play like that. I don't know what you do. What I think you should not do is go 2.5 years later on the day before election or 2 days before election and tell the world. That's what I don't think you do. And if you do that, I think you do that for a reason. Because you're free to do whatever you want to do. Who am I? I'm just Tim Black on the internet. That's all. TBTV media guy, that's all. But it just seems weird to me. It seems like there's an agenda behind it. And then I see a video from somebody on Fox News who's running as a Republican who says, guess what? I think we'll be able to flip Minnesota this year to red. But of course, Tim, none of these things go together necessarily. Don't stop being the conspiracy theorist, Tim Black. You have no way to prove that what any of this has any connection to the political, if there's any political motivation behind it, if there's any money behind it, anything like that. And how dare you accuse this woman? Won't you feel for her? Won't you respect her? I do respect women. I do. All I'm saying, the timing looks crazy. And all I'm saying is, most of what she said, she just used this opportunity to talk about a lot of other things. Though relevant, not truly, didn't really seem they were about Keith Ellison, they were about our country. It was like 20 paragraph long essay about a lot of other stuff. In only one incident in Keith Ellison, there was anything that rises to the level of a misdemeanor. Anyway, so, hey, I'm not here to defend Keith. I don't know if Keith's a good guy to be in a relationship or not. All I know is sometimes he votes, for progressive issues. Sometimes he doesn't. And all I know is I don't know. But I think we need due process on any issue like this. And it just seems a little suspicious to me, is all I'm saying. And look, if you're going to bring up a video, produce the video. You brought up the video. Produce the video. Or don't bring up the video that you said you had and your son said he saw it. Anyway, we're going to keep it moving, guys. We're going to keep it moving. Lord have mercy. Speaking of videos, man, I thought I said everything I needed to say about Omarosa. I thought I was done with Omarosa, and then came Omarosa again. Listen, y'all, listen, party people. Listen, man, I know it's hard being Omarosa. First of all, your name is Omarosa. It's kind of hard to write a love letter to Omarosa because nothing else rhymes with Omarosa except Ponderosa. Oh, Omarosa, I love you. I want to take you to the Ponderosa. I almost ran out of things to say because nothing else rhymes with Omarosa. So a bad poet wouldn't do a good job with her. It's hard. So you have a name that makes life hard for you. Listen, Omarosa, you're making the rounds. My understanding is that you were on a talk show or on a news show or in an interview today, and when they start asking you hard questions, you got pissed off and walked off. Is that true? Is that what she did? Did she do that? Well, I want to know who did it. You guys tell me. I think she did. She was in an interview and she walked off because she didn't like the conversation. She didn't like the questions. All right, listen. That's what, I don't believe they misprinted that. I believe it happened. I have not watched the video. If I'm mistaken, please ignore this rant. Omarosa, you are living up to everything about you that we disliked. You spent many years, several years, crafting this persona of a person who is spiteful, tough, mean, backstabbing, backbiting, out to win at any cost, willing to throw people under the bus. That was your MO. And now you are in front of us and you don't even know how to play in need of sympathy. Even to sell your book, you don't know how to play the game to be sympathetic, to make people want to be empathetic to your situation. You should expect tough questions. You say that Donald Trump, first of all, listen, if you say Donald Trump used the N-word, at first I thought you were saying you heard him say the N-word. Now you're telling me someone else told you he used the N-word? That's what you're using to hype your book? What someone else said? There are people coming out saying, I never told you that. What is she talking about? What else would they say, Omarosa? In what world? How could you expect different? You are making yourself a laughingstock. Now, maybe this is some clever rules that you and Trump worked out where you would do this and it was all okay. You and Trump have talked and you've decided, hey, Omarosa, I'm going to help you out. Go at me. It's okay. Go at me in the media. I'll go at you. It will help you sell many books. I've always loved you, Omarosa. It's not a big deal. I'm fine with it. Maybe it's possible that's what's happened. I mean, look, guys, the way things go in this country, the way things happen with celebrities and I never know what's real. A rapper's beefing with a rapper, and then they turn out to have it all planned out, and they was friends all along, and this is just for show to sell more records. I don't know. Maybe that's what's going on. Maybe Omarosa and Trump are really in a secret relationship. Anything could be true. I don't know. You don't know. But I know this, Omarosa, what she's selling, I ain't buying. It's not that I want to give her a hard time. It's just that I don't believe her. I don't find her authentic or credible or any of that. So this noise is going to keep going on and on and on and on. I wish that Omarosa would go to the Ponderosa. That's what Omarosa should do. Have lots of steak dinners and just enjoy her life. And just say, hey, you know what? She's on another show, right? Is she on another reality TV show? Just go do your reality TV show. Enjoy your life on that show. Make your money. Make your money. I tell you, man, I wish I had a friend that would put me on several episodes of a show. Several episodes of a show so the world know who I was. And then I wish that friend would give me a job in the White House. Yeah, man, think about it. Man, Omarosa ain't qualified to do nothing she's ever done. What's she qualified to do? Look what she's made of her life. She's a success story, but she's ruining it. Should never took that job, Omarosa. Should never took that job. And if you're going to have that job, you want to be a whistleblower, you should have blew the whistle while you still had the job. Then you would have been believable. Then people would have been championed for you. A lot of Americans, like if you would have came out, if you would have been in that White House, and unlike those sleazy people who leak things to the media anonymously, if you would have had the guts to say, whatever, anything that you saw going on that you thought was unfair or wrong for the American people, if you would have said, you know what, I'm going to tell it. I'm going to put my name on it. I'm going to stand in front of the world and say this is what's going on at the White House. People would have rode for you, Omarosa. Even people who don't like you would have respected the fact you were willing to put your reputation in the face, your own face in front of it, of the cameras, and then spill the beans. But you can't come spilling beans after you left the job. You just can't. So that's how I feel about Omarosa. Guys, let me know if there's any more to this story. I think that's enough with me covering this story. I have a video I just did on it. I just recorded it. I'm going to upload it soon just because I haven't put a video out. But I won't be talking about Omarosa anymore unless something else happens, unless she writes another book that's suspect. All right, guys. The circus continues. It does continue, doesn't it? The Rosanna Miranda says she'll write a book next. Kathy Sanders says Omarosa is qualified to be a liar. I think, Kathy, were you telling me something going on in Chicago? It was something you put up yesterday. You posted yesterday. Frederick Murphy says that Omarosa is qualified to be a pain in the ass. I love it. Karen Mitchell, no more donations, says, how surprising that a reality show guest would write a salacious book after serving in the administration of a reality show host. How surprising. It is something. Who said that? That is a great one, man. The Natural Progressive, please let people know there's an open comment period on the proposed changes to the Endangered Species Act until September 24th. Planet over profit. Well, Natural Progressive, looks like you just let them know because I just read your message. And thank you for the donation, brother. Thanks for the super chat. Steve Wolford Brandt. Beatrice Bartley, Jeremy DeBoard, Christy Brown. Christy Brown says that Omarosa played herself. She did play herself. She did horrifically. So, guys, I'm looking now. I'm trying to see if there's anything else. Are there some stories going on, some issues, some news that need focus, and maybe what about the roundup? How many people are interested in me doing a segment about the Roundup? You know, Monsanto, the Roundup, the chemicals. And I saw a news clip. I read an article about a young man who's terminally ill, has terminal cancer due to his exposure to the Roundup pesticides. I think it's time we did a story on this. So I think it's a good idea. Let me know if you think that's a good idea. Put so in the comments section, and I'm going to go back after the show and read the comments as well. Is there anything else that's going on? Yeah, we covered Shapiro, Omarosa versus Ellison Milana. Yeah. Facebook, Rose Martirana. Hey, thank you, Beatrice. Thank you for the birthday wishes, Beatrice. Yes, it's a great feeling, I guess. You know, we're not going to really celebrate tonight. I may have a drink of wine tonight, but I'll save the celebration to the weekend because, you know, we got kids and the wife has to actually go to a job to work. I work from home, as you all know. But so it's kind of, time is a factor. But we're going to get it in. I'm going to have a good time eventually. Enjoy the time, enjoy it. But I'm telling you, man, you start, like I'm going to stop counting now I stopped counting at like 43. I'm not counting my age no more. I'm as old as I feel, right? And I feel okay. I just need to get out and work, exercise more. This job has me locked to the chair. I just need to get out. Every day I need to get out, and I just sometimes can't do it. Anyway, enough about me. Enough about me. So guys, look, a lot more changes to come, a lot more great stuff. Send me story ideas to tim@timberliketv.com, please. Please do that. I need your suggestions. Shout out to Autumn, little sis Autumn, who sends me stories. Thank you, Autumn, for staying there, for giving me story ideas like you do on such a regular basis. Shout out to all my moderators who support this channel, who help try to keep the chat going and keep it a healthy chat. We don't need it overrun with trolls or craziness. So thank you guys for doing that. I really appreciate you. Thank you for everybody who's a Patreon of the show. Thank you for supporting the show. Thank you for everyone who supported the flood campaign and get things back up and running. As you can see, we're not quite back up and running. Yesterday's show, I used a green screen, which is the screen over here. I don't like green screens. You can see a little green halo, and it's just like my set's over there, but I'm having problems getting a camera that I can use to shoot me over there. So I tried to green screen it because I have this green screen. I've had it for years. So anyway, we're almost back. We're like almost where we want to be. It's where I want to be, I think, to make the show really be a lot better. And just inch by inch. So I want to thank you all who supported the show. My GoFundMe for supporting the show is still up. So if you haven't given to the show and you would like to get to the show, please do. It's an ongoing thing, right? And become a Patreon at patreon.com, Tim's Take Live. That's it. Patreon, Tim's Take Live. What else? Oh, pretty soon, I'm going to be on Roku. Give it up for Roku. All right. I'm pretty sure we're going to go with that because they're going to send me some specifications. There's a provider out there who puts content out on Roku on this network, and they want to put some of my content out there. And since you know how YouTube treats me and you know how Facebook treats me, neither are good. So, yeah, I'd like to be on Roku. I sure would. So we're going to work with them. We're going to get that done. And what else? I think that's all the updates, guys. Don't forget, I'm always accessible. I may not get back right away, but I do my best to get back. Email me at tim@timberliketv.com. Booyah! That's it. Been never ashamed of my age. I earned it. Lori says, I'm not ashamed of my age. Nah, man, I'm not. That's fine. Hey, I lost my hair when I was in my 30s. It's not age. It's just that I'm just me. I don't keep track of that anymore. I know how old I am if I had to. If you put a gun to my head, but I think people get caught up in numbers. You know what I mean? I don't know. I think, Lori, I'm glad you feel good about who you are. I feel good about who I am too, girl. I feel good about who I am. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to enjoy my birthday safely indoors, and I'll wait till this weekend to go out to get something to eat or something. And I'm going to keep on fighting against the system and speaking truth to power as best I can. So we get another year to do that, or I just had another year doing that, and I'm very happy. So that's it, guys. I'll see you tomorrow night. I don't anticipate not being able to do a show. Everything looks like it's going to be okay. Even if it's just this, I want to start bringing people back on the show. I don't think this would be professional background to have guests. So I'm trying to get that back together, because things need to look nice for guests, right? So I want to invite Christopher Hedges on the show. I want Chris Hedges to come on the show. I want to talk to him. I'm also looking to get Jesse Ventura on the show. Jesse Ventura. I would like to, once again, try to get Cynthia McKinney on the show. I was in talks to have Nina Turner come back on the show. I would like to invite her back on the show. I'm also in talks with Tulsi Gabbard to get Tulsi Gabbard on the show. I was in talks with Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez to have her on the show. And, you know, and we want to have subject matter experts on the show. I mean doctors, lawyers, physicians, psychiatrists, therapists, scientists, people of these types of disciplines who can give us firsthand knowledge from their bank of expertise and talent about issues that we care about. We would like to have these conversations, and we're going to start doing more of that too. So it's not just big name politicians. We want everybody. We want interesting shows with interesting people, whether they be from recording industry to music to movies to professions, to things that tell us. I like to have some people on the show from West Virginia who worked in the coal mines to tell me about that story. Let's have those conversations too. And there's a politician out there in West Virginia who I got to get on the show. That brother is fire. That brother is fire. You know what I'm talking about? As well as to have my usual round of great indie media people to come on the show, like Elizabeth Voss, Nico House, Caitlin Johnstone, Jimmy Dore, Lee Camp, Rob TV. These people, I want these people to come back on the show and kick it with us. All right, that's the plans going forward. I hope you guys agree. Hope you got suggestions. You know where to send them. TimandTimberlakeTV.com, Real Tim Black on Facebook and on Twitter. I love you. I'll see you on the next one. This show is brought to you by justinform.com. That's where you go if you want to belong to a social media site that does not track you or sell you. That's right. You want to be informed? Go to justinform.com, y'all. Do it. All right. Let's imagine for a moment that you really like that content. You're like, wow, that's cool stuff. I could watch more of that Tim Black stuff. All right, check this out. Go to patreon.com, Tim's Take Live. That's where you become a member of Team Black. That's Tim Black's team, a.k.a. Tim Black's Wolfpack. Do it today. Support independent media. And here goes the next clip.